Russia has violated international law, violated territorial integrity and sovereignty of a country in Europe, and I think there's unanimity that there have to be consequences for that.
The crisis in Ukraine is clearly escalating with the reports of helicopters being shot down and heavy gunfire. Ukrainian security forces today launched their most intense operation so far against the pro-Russian separatists. The Interior Minister saying Ukraine has taken back 9 blockades that were under the control of the pro-Russian forces. Our senior international correspondent Nick Payton is near the town of Slavyansk, where the operation is taking place. And Nick, I understand you have some new information.
Got your kitty?
Casualties. Tell us what
Is that kitty?
Well, the self-declared mayor of Slavyansk, Vyacheslav Ponomarov, pro-Russian protester backed, has told me that 5
Is that your kitty?
pro-Russian militants here have been killed during today's violence, along with 2 civilians. That's a higher death toll than spokespeople put out on social media.
Oh, mean kitty. Jordan, you're mean.
There of 7 dead. I know also of an instance in which an elderly man had his legs, it seems, injured, crushed when he tried to get in the way of an Ukrainian armed personnel carrier at one of these standoffs on the outskirts of this town, Slavyansk. And the impact of that, as I say, will be severe. It is the bloodshed which potentially Moscow said might cause their troops to come across the border. I think many people have believed that would be just a policy failure if the actions saw an open intervention.
Come here. Come and love on Jordan. You gotta love on him. You gotta love on you. What's wrong? You stuck?
Ukrainians potentially coordinated outside of the country, but it does, I think, look particularly likely today. We may see some escalation of the conflict. It's going to be hard, frankly, for the Kremlin after the rhetoric of the past few weeks to do nothing in the face of this Ukrainian motion, and I'm sure that meeting of the Security Council, Wolf, is a place where their voice is going to be loudly heard. Wolf?
You heard President Obama after this conference with Angela Merkel was just wrapped up several times refer to those international monitors who have been detained.
I love you so much.
In eastern Ukraine, representatives from the Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe. What's the latest? What are we hearing about those monitors who are now being, according to U.S. officials, being held hostage?
Well, there's no question they're being held against their will, and they're referred to as prisoners of war, in fact, by the pro-Russian militants and protesters in Slavyansk. We know that yesterday there were continuing daily contact between a separate OSCE delegation negotiating their release. And in fact, the spokeswoman for the self-declared mayor of Slavyansk said to me that she was joking with them every day. I'm not sure if they would have said it shared her sense of humour, but we don't know what has happened today. It is, of course, deeply troubling for Angela Merkel to know there are German citizens, military officers at the centre of this standoff here. One of the strongest cards, frankly, that Vyacheslav Ponomarov, the self-declared mayor of Slavyansk, and his militant backers has to play in this continuing crisis. But we don't simply know where they are, we don't know their condition, and we do know that the conditions inside that city are increasingly tense, increasingly hostile.
Arabell, you pooping?
Foreigners, certainly, and I'm sure the comments we heard at the United Nations from Vitaly Churkin, the Russian ambassador to the UN, that there are English-speaking mercenaries somehow involved in this, I've not seen any here at all, will be adding to that general sense of hostility.
Jordan, you need to hug your daddy. You need your daddy, Jordan.
The president was clearly focusing on Ukraine. There was more fallout from that attack in Benghazi. Our own Gloria Borgia is standing by with some analysis. The president is handling several hot-button issues right now.